Hello again. You may or may not have seen my sort of preview overview of the LifestyleRx program. I'm going to touch upon the theme of week 1 of the LifestyleRx program, which, as I mentioned in the overview, is sort of a lifestyle modification to give you better health, primarily in the realm of fatty liver, pre-diabetes or diabetes, high blood pressure, and the focus is on behavior modification in the realm of diet, exercise, sleep. The diet part I would sort of summarize as a move towards intermittent fasting, along with eating of whole foods, with keeping up appropriate levels of protein and fiber. The exercise part begins with just do something every day, just do something. Week 1 is the first of the weeks, and I'll keep this video fairly short. The theme of the week is called a teaspoon of sugar, and it gets that name because there's apparently just a teaspoon worth of glucose going through your bloodstream at any one time. Anything more, and it's either getting pushed into fat cells, being used as fuel, or having to be regulated with insulin. During that week, there's, as I mentioned in the overview, there's always readings and videos to watch. The chapters for that week. At some point during this time, I might get more fancy with this vlog and throw in more screen grabs and things like that. But ultimately, the chapters of week 1 are Welcome to the Better Health Program for Chronic Conditions, which is what I'm doing, dealing with high blood pressure. Understanding insulin resistance is the next chapter. The chapter after that is Understanding Chronic Inflammation and its Impacts on Health, which has a video presentation, as well as the previous chapter as well. The chapter after that is, let me just double check. The chapter of that is called This is Not Inevitable, You Can Take Control. The chapter after that is The Really Simple Guide to Getting Started, which is just basically a one-pager that you print out. And that is, wait, let me see if I have it here. I may have printed it out, hang on. I did. It is essentially this, you print out, which I guess might look funny in reverse, but and basically it's just 1, 2, 3. 1, do something every day. Number 2 is 12-hour fast from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And number 3 is 3 whole food meals. And the chapter after that is spoonfuls of glucose, which is about glucose in your system. And there's a video presentation that you can watch, just about 4 minutes long, as well as questions that you print out, or the questions that you enter, which becomes part of the profile which you do for yourself. And the after spoonfuls of sugar is Eating the Rainbow, which is an anti-inflammatory guide. And that is, I have done some of the printout, I forgot about that. Sorry for reaching around, because I'm reaching around the camera. And that's basically like a food guide for different types of food, which are anti-inflammatory in nature. I won't go into all of it. Essentially, it's whole foods, fiber, eating fermented foods, eating the rainbow, go nuts on nuts, healthy fats, use spices, and then foods to avoid, which are probably the foods which we already know that we're supposed to avoid. But there you go. Then there's a chapter, the 5-to-1 rule for packaged foods. And I'll just touch upon that. Basically, what that rule of thumb is to help you in the grocery store, is if you're looking at a packaged food, you divide the amount of carbohydrates divided by the amount of fiber. So if it's 25 grams of carbohydrate, 5 grams of fiber, 5 divided by 5, 25 divided by 5 is 5. And it's a rule of thumb. So when you do that division, if the number is 5 or less, then it's probably a better choice. If it's greater than 5, then you may want to try and reach around for other options, which will have a better carb to fiber ratio. And then the next chapter is a printout you do, fast carb tracker, where you keep track of where you tend to eat most of your carbs. If you keep sort of like a physical journal, if you will, like, are most of your carbs at breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Do you load up on your Count Chocula or Lucky Charms at breakfast and have almost no protein? And then then you can see, well, where am I loading up on my carbs, and where can I make a switch to get more protein with each meal? After that, there's a smart shopping list, which, do I have it? Have it printed out? I'm not sure. I have, but it's not on my desk, so I'm not going to worry about it. And basically, it's a suggested shopping list of things to buy while you're on the program, which you can download and print. Again, many of the suggestions are ones which maybe, if you've been around the diet path before, I'm sure you're probably familiar with already. After that, 5-1, smart. Then there's a better mindset printout, which is basically just this, which has sort of like their mottos, and the mottos are things like, remember, better not perfect, better is always better, small changes can be better, better is forgiving, and consistent is better. And so that's sort of the first week theme of what I might call the CBT Light component of LifestyleRx, is aiming for better, not perfect. If some of us have burdened ourselves with the perfection complex, where, like, as soon as things aren't exactly perfect, well, I may as well not do it at all. That's the theme for the CBT Light component, if I can phrase it that way, of that week. And then after that, there's a recipe uploaded by the dietitians, a strawberry chocolate chia pudding recipe, which I've not done. I'm not keen on chia. Never been a big fan of chia. I do have a really good recipe, though, if you've got a sweet tooth, which I'll touch upon before I close out the session. And then after that, there's a section on preparing for your group session, which again has a number of questionnaires to fill in that you do just prior to your first group session, and then it gives you a score. And as an example, when I had first started my prequel weeks, my diet, I already thought I was trying to do good, was 5.1 or fair. But then when I did the questionnaire again just before the first session, it had gone up to a 7, which is in their bandwidth, a good. I'll see if I can do a printout. I don't want to print out all of it, but we'll see how that goes. And again, that happens through the weeks as you go throughout, is that you're constantly sort of dialing in your improvements in nutrition, in life habits, and you're going from, fair, good, excellent, if you will, as you're going along. And that is essentially, and then that preps you up, and then once you've done that, then you're ready for the next week. The week 2, which I'll touch upon and do something as well, is the theme of that is cut the crap, CRAP. And what they mean by that is the acronym of calorie-rich and processed foods. And so that will be the theme of the week 2. And again, in that case, there's both readings and videos that you do and assignments. For the week 2 assignments, which I've not done yet, part of it includes tracking your meals with a 4-day diet diary, which you actually do and upload onto the website, which becomes part of your profile. And then the doctor and dietitian, which are guiding your cohort through the program, will review prior to the next week's weekly meetings. And you can raise issues, get some fine-tuning, if you will, ask questions. And that essentially is all I have for this session. It's not a super long one. It was the very first week. Some of the issues I'd already touched upon in my overview of the prequel. I'm wearing a different buff, if you know buffs from Spain. For 12 weeks, what I'll endeavor to do, just to keep you coming back, is I'll wear a different buff for every session, because I've got more buffs than you can believe. It's my thing, if you will. I did say before logging out I was going to give you my suggested dessert that you can have for the program, which I quite enjoy. This is not an original, I have to confess. I got the idea off it was either a YouTube reel, or it was from Instagram. I think it was probably from Instagram. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm saving that. So as background, I have a sweet tooth. It's something which has always plagued me. And I also love peanut butter. I love peanuts, I love peanut butter. And if there's peanut butter in the house, I cannot control myself. Both my paws will be in the peanut butter every single day. And this may come as a shock, but peanut butter carries a lot of calories, and I know that. So this is sort of a high protein version of it. And if you like peanut butter, you like chocolate, you must love Reese's peanut butter cups. And this is sort of like a custard version, which is healthy, as a matter of fact. So what you do is you take 1 scoop of your protein powder, 1 scoop of dried peanut butter powder. Both of these you can get at your Costco, local Costco, if you're in Canada, in Lower Mainland BC. And then you take 1 scoop of that, 1 scoop of the protein powder, 1 scoop of the peanut butter powder, 1 scoop of Greek yogurt, and you mix it together in a small dish until it has sort of a watery consistency. If it's too thick, add just a little bit more Greek yogurt to dilute it. Smooth it out in your little tray container, and then take some dark chocolate chips and in another container melt them in the microwave. Be careful as you melt them, it's very easy to burn them. So you just want to melt them so they're liquidy. Pour that onto the peanut butter whey protein yogurt mixture, if you will. Spread it around. Put it in the fridge for, say, an hour. And when it comes out, it's nice and cool. The chocolate on top is now hard, so it's nice and crunchy. You can tap it with your spoon and break it. And underneath, you have something, it's almost like a big Reese's peanut butter cup. However, rather than a whole ton of calories, I'll just give you like an estimate of the calories. I suppose I should have measured it out for you, but there you go. The whey protein is 140, a couple of tablespoons of that would be 70 to say 220. How much would the Greek yogurt be? Probably 60. So it'd be like sub 300 calories easily, maybe like around the 250 range, including the chocolate chips, because you're just using a tablespoon. It's not that bad. And you're getting, let's see, a good 35 grams of protein for how many carbs? Maybe chocolate chips. 8 carbs for the peanut butter and whey protein powder combined, and 8 carbs for, so about 16 grams of carbs. You're getting a good 35, almost 40 grams, just eyeballing it, grams of protein. And so if you're having that freak out, you gotta have something desserty, if you will. And if you like peanut butter, and if you like Reese's peanut butter cups, and you're willing to make some trade-offs, that's my recipe. I probably should have made it. Maybe I'll do that for the next episode, and instead of just giving you the recipe, I'll end that episode not just wearing a different buff, but eating my Reese's dessert. Take care. Cheers.